come on. Sophie.
Sophie Turner reveals bombshell letter that proves she, Joe Jonas, planned their forever home in England. Joe Jonas' words are coming back to haunt him. Sophie Turner reveals in bombshell court documents filed earlier this week and obtained by Page 6 that her estranged husband once fantasized about a future together with their daughters in England in a recent letter he wrote. The Jonas Brothers member penned the heartfelt note on June 16, just 3 months before he filed for divorce, in an effort to persuade a homeowner to sell them their property in Wallingford, Oxford. When my wife and I decided we were going to spend more time in the UK and search for a permanent home, our daughter expressed 3 unwavering requirements: having chickens, a pony and a windy house. Jonas, 34, wrote to the seller. While many of the houses we viewed met this criteria, the moment we turned the corner and caught sight of the charming blue shutters adorning, redacted, we experienced a sense of magic unlike anything we had felt before. The Lovebug singer then gushed about the £7.5 million estate, explaining how he found the beautiful walled garden and the sight of the owner's children enjoying a picnic there simply heavenly. Jonas shared how he had even spoken to Turner's father about the beautiful home. My father-in-law is an incredibly keen gardener, and he was suitably impressed by your vegetable garden too, a very important sign-off, the What a Man Gotta Do singer said. Jonas also noted how he had envisioned himself living in England, writing, "I have been completely charmed by the idea of dropping my children to school on the boat and being able to spend a leisurely afternoon cruising to the pub with friends on my very own boat." The DNCE frontman praised the homeowner for the layout of their home and said one of their huge rooms would be ideal for a recording studio. "We could tell that your family have truly loved living here, and we can envision our children growing up here and making this our forever home," he added before concluding, "I really think Sophie and I will be able to look after, redacted names, and for many years pay homage to the magic you have created here." Jonas' letter was so moving that the seller accepted his and Turner's offer, and the former couple placed a 10% deposit, totaling £750,000, $914,130, on the house on July 7, 2 months prior to the pair calling it quits. The sucker singer allegedly texted one of Turner's sisters-in-law, "Well, Sophie and I officially own a home in the UK," per the court documents. It's unclear which sister-in-law received the celebratory text. The sale of the house in Oxford is set to be finalized on December 2 of this year, per the court docs. However, a source points out to Page 6 exclusively that the house is in escrow and the sale never closed. Turner, 27, claims in the court filing that the purchase of the UK property was months in the making. The Games of Thrones alum alleges she and Jonas spoke in late 2022 and agreed and committed to relocate to England at that point. They then left their home in Miami on March 10. Turner says in the court docs that her and Jonas' elder daughter, Willa, 3, was then enrolled in a nursery full-time in England and Wales after April. Turner and Jonas put their Florida home up for sale that same month, and the Sunshine State property was sold by August, per the court docs. The English actress claims much of the family's personal belongings were shipped to the UK between May 5 and July 31. Turner argues in the filing that because neither she nor Jonas are full-time residents in Miami anymore, the city's court should not have jurisdiction over their pending divorce, and therefore she wants the case dismissed. The Staircase star also confirms in the court documents that her 2 girls, Willa and Delphine, 1, are in her care at a temporary accommodation in New York. She notes that she has asked her kids' father to return their daughters to England, but he has refused. Turner sued Jonas earlier this month, claiming he had wrongfully removed or wrongfully retained their children. However, the Who's in Your Head singer denied abducting his kids, and the pair later agreed to keep Willa and Delphine in New York City amid their ongoing divorce battle. Jonas' rep claimed at the time that he and Turner agreed to raise their girls both in the US and the UK. His attorneys did not immediately return Page 6's request for comment on the statements the musician allegedly made in his letter to the British homeowner or the other claims in the September 26 filing. However, a source close to the situation tells Page 6 exclusively that Jonas and Turner have never been residents of the UK. Residency is a legal term, and that is how the courts will define it, the insider explains. Residency includes things like where you have your driver's license, where you vote, where your kids go to school, where you last lived as a family for a significant period of time, specifically 6 months. There is no place the family lived for 6 months or longer other than Florida. The source adds of Jonas Letter, intention, expressed in a letter or otherwise, does not equal residency. Actions do. And so while the letter was inserted in the motion in order to pique the attention of reporters, it won't actually be material to determine legal residency. Page 6 has reached out to Turner's attorneys for comment, but did not immediately hear back. Although the ex's separation has turned into a nasty split, they previously put on a united front by releasing a statement together earlier this month. Jonas and Turner said in a joint Instagram post on September 6, "After 4 wonderful years of marriage, we have mutually decided to amicably end our marriage." There are many speculative narratives as to why, but truly this is a united decision, and we sincerely hope that everyone can respect our wishes for privacy for us and our children. Revealed, Sophie Turner unleashes bombshell letter proving she and Joe Jonas did plan for their forever home to be in UK amid bitter custody battle. Sophie Turner is claiming she has irrefutable proof that she and estranged husband Joe Jonas were planning a future together in England with their 2 daughters. In new court documents, filed earlier this week, the 27-year-old actress shared a letter, allegedly penned by her ex, to persuade a homeowner in Wallingford, Oxford to sell them their $9.1 million estate in Wallingford, Oxford. "When my wife and I decided we were going to spend more time in the UK and search for a permanent home, our daughter expressed 3 unwavering requirements, having chickens, a pony and a windy house," he enthusiastically told the seller. Jonas, 34, added, "While many of the houses we viewed met this criteria, the moment we turned the corner and caught sight of the charming blue shutters adorning, we experienced a sense of magic unlike anything we had felt before." According to page 6, the musician claimed that he saw himself having picnics there with his little girls Willa, 3, and Delphine, 14 months, alongside the home's beautiful walled garden. "I have been completely charmed by the idea of dropping my children to school on the boat and being able to spend a leisurely afternoon cruising to the pub with friends on my very own boat," he continued. "You have designed your home beautifully. I was incredibly inspired by the layout of the rooms and the energy of the house. I couldn't help but notice the musicality of the house, and the fact it has a huge room ready to be my recording studio is amazing. There is nothing about the design we would want to change," Jonas raved. The dad of 2 added that father-in-law, Andrew Turner, is an incredibly keen gardener that was suitably impressed by the property's vegetable garden. As he imagined spending the rest of his life in England, the Grammy nominee said he and Turner could really envision their kids growing up here and making this our forever home. He concluded that his family would spend many years paying homage to the magic that the previous owner created. The letter was well received by the seller, who accepted the former couple's offer and a 10% deposit of $914,130 on July 7, just 2 months before their split. At the time, he reportedly texted one of Turner's sisters-in-law that they officially own a home in the UK. According to court documents, obtained by page 6, the sale of the house in Oxford is set to be finalized on December 2. The insider pointed out that the house is in escrow and the sale never closed. The update comes as DailyMail.com learned in new court filing that a judge ordered that the pair's kids cannot be removed from the U.S. until the court hearing on October 3. The Games of Thrones has maintained that she and Jonas agreed and committed to relocate to England last year and moved out of their Miami home on March 10. As they began to put down roots in England, Turner claims that their eldest enrolled in a nursery full-time in England and Wales in the spring. The pair ultimately sold their property in Florida for a whopping $15 million in August. Their personal possessions and belongings were shipped to the UK between May 5 and July 31. Earlier this week, Turner and Jonas agreed to temporarily keep their children in New York after she sued him to return their children's passports to her. The court agreement, filed on Monday and obtained by DailyMail.com, states that their daughters must remain in New York's southern or eastern districts, an area which covers New York City, the Hudson Valley, and Long Island. According to the filing, Sophie and Joe have agreed to the entry of the attached proposed interim consent order, without prejudice to either party's claims and defenses, prohibiting the removal of the parties' children from the jurisdictions, pending further order of this court. The court order was filed to protect the well-being of the children involved, the document filed by Turner's lawyer Stephen Cullen states. But it is also to prevent the children's further removal or concealment before the final disposition of the petition. The filing comes as an apparent truce between the exes after exchanging allegations against each other over the last 2 weeks. A draft copy of the order must now be signed by Judge Catherine Polk-Fila, who is overseeing the case. It cites the Hague Convention on the Civil Aspects of International Child Abduction and the International Child Abduction Remedies Act as the law governing the dispute. The first hearing is due to take place at the federal court in Manhattan on October 3rd.